evening, NWS Revolution members and viewers. This is your play-by-play commentator, Joe Galli. And this is your NWS color commentator, Dan Lambert. And this is your NWS Board of Directors Chairman, your NWS United States Champion, and your NWS Intercontinental Champion, and the 2026 NWS Revolution Rumble winner, and soon to be NWS World Heavyweight Champion, Mischief Mikey Miller, bro. And today, me, Joe Galli, and Dan Lambert are going to give you our NWS Revolution Impact Go Home Show review. Take it away, Joey. Thank you, Dan Lambert. Tonight's show was handwritten from the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. The commentators for the show were me, Joe Galli, and Dan Lambert. And before the first match, NWS COO Cody Mercer comes out accompanied by Don Callis and Paul Heyman, and he talks about how he defeated and beat the holy hell out of Ice Show Speed last week. He brags about how beating Ice Show Speed made him stronger, and how he was happy to teach Ice Show Speed a lesson in respect. Cody Mercer then says he plans on beating the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes this Sunday at RevolutionMania 10 and finally ending the feud between them. Don Callis then hypes up RevolutionMania 10 like crazy and says tonight Scott Casey Gale will learn a lesson the hard way when he loses to someone Ask Me Ira. And then Paul Heyman hypes up RevolutionMania 10 like crazy. It was indeed a good promo from Cody Mercer as it's the first match and it's for the NWS Tag Team Championships. Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins with NWS Director of Operations Jaden Miller in the corner from Dominant Studios defeated Don Callis family members Mark Davis and Rocky Romero with General Manager Don Callis, Jay Lawson, and Noah Higgins successfully retained the NWS Tag Team Championships by defeating the veteran duo of Mark Davis and Rocky Romero. The match was defined by the high-stakes chess match between the two sides' management. General Manager Don Callis, who accompanied Davis and Romero, attempted to tip the scales in his team's favor with outside interference. However, his plan was thwarted by NWS Director of Operations Jaden Miller. A key turning point, Jaden Miller intercepted Callis by chasing him down and physically restraining him to ensure the match remained a fair contest between the legal competitors. The result solidified Lawson and Higgins as top tag team in the promotion, with the friction between Miller and Callis suggests ongoing power struggles within the NWS executive ranks. Winner and still NWS Tag Team Champions Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins. Kids, this was a really, really good match. I enjoyed everything about this. This was a good way to stop the show. What do you think, Dan Lambert? Oh, without a doubt, I like this tag team match. Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins, they are quite a tag team. And I also like the battle between the managers outside, between Jaden Miller and Don Callis. I mean, the NWS management. There's definitely a huge power struggle, a huge major power struggle. I mean, Jaden Miller is a face. He's on the side for the fans, and Don Callis is against fans. But I do enjoy the feud between Jaden Miller and Don Callis. This is what Power Struggle is all about, in my opinion. I think that Jaden Miller is doing a tremendous job as the NWS Director of Operations. I mean, just the huge Power Struggle, the rivalry. I mean, this is what NWS Revolution Power is all about. This is what the fans want to see. This is what they need to see. I like to see this continue because I always enjoy a good power struggle. What do you say, Mischief Mikey Miller? Oh, what is it, Mischief Mikey? Oh, I definitely enjoy this. Joe got what the? We're having technical difficulties. Hold on, we're having technical difficulties. Hold on. I do apologize, folks. We are having technical difficulties. I love a good power struggle, Joe Galli and Dan Lambert. Jaden Miller is screwing up. You know, he is screwing up, and Don Callis is there to keep him in line. And, well, I'm going to fix the power struggle when I become the co-owner of the NWS Revolution and the new NWS World Heavyweight Champion. Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to fire Jaden Miller. He's going to remain the NWS Director of Operations. But when I become co-owner of the new NWS World Heavyweight Champion, there's going to be a lot of changes here in the NWS Revolution, starting with the technical difficulties. It's always got to be I blame Scott Casey Gale. Scott Casey Gale, after this review is over, you are once again going to sit on my lap for screwing up the NWS Revolution sound stage or whatever it is you screwed up, Scotty boy. You are responsible for this. You are responsible for the technical difficulties, and you're gonna pay the price, Scotty, my boy. Once again, you're gonna sit on my lap, just like you sat on my lap early in your office. And from now on, every time you're in your office, Scotty boy, you have to sit on my lap like a good boy. And you have to sit on someone asked me I was lap as well. But anyway, it was a good tag team match between Jay Lawson and Noah Higgins. I really enjoyed it, especially the power struggles within the NWS executive ranks. Yes, Dan Lambert, you are right. That is exactly what these fans want to see because these fans are idiots. And they're going to be very disappointed when I become the new World Heavyweight Champion, co-owner of the NWS Revolution. But I will get to that later. The next, go ahead, Dan Lambert. Why, thank you, Mischief Mikey Miller. But you know, I don't know how if you somehow beat Scott Casey Gale, it's gonna be. I don't know what you're gonna be like as MWS co-owner. But I guess we'll wait and see. But I just hope somehow, someway, Scott Casey Gale is victorious. But anyway, in the office of MWS Revolution owner, chairman, and CEO, Scott Casey Gale, he is finishing up his important MWS paperwork and computer work. There is a knock on the door. As Scott says, come in. It's the NWS Board of Directors Chairman, Mischief Mikey Miller, and someone asked me Iowa with a Texas-style cheese pizza. Mikey says, we bought you dinner, Scotty boy. Scott thanks them and gets up from his chair. Mischief Mikey, you're welcome, Scotty boy. Mikey ruffles Scott's hair and pulls him on his lap. Scott Casey Gale, really, Mikey, on your lap again? Mischief Mikey Miller, yes, Scotty. my boy, on my lap again. This is the only way you can have your pizza dinner, by sitting on my lap. Besides, it's best for business, and it's the best seat in the house and in this office. Mikey playfully kisses Scott on the top of his head. Someone asked me, Ira. Besides, Scott, Mikey is being a nice guy today, and you sitting on his lap keeps you relaxed from the stress. And by the way, you might have to sit on my lap later today when Mikey fights his brother Jaden Miller in a parking lot bar. To make sure you don't interfere, it's only fair and for your own good. Now let's eat. I'm starving, Mikey. Scott Casey Gale, fair enough. Mr. Mikey Miller. Good answer, Scotty, and good boy. Mikey pats Scott on the head and rubs his back. Scott, Mikey, and I will eat the pizza dinner. Really, Mikey, you gotta tease Scott like that? I mean, come on. You always gotta tease him like that. Why do you do that to Scott? Tell me. Because, Dan Abbott, it's for Scott's own good. My lap was getting cold, and when Scott sits on my lap, he keeps it warm. Okay, he's my adopted father, and he keeps being a bad boy. And I, Mr. Mikey, am here to make sure Scott acts like a good boy and acts his age. Uh, no, that's why he needs to be taught a lesson, and I'm the only guy that can teach Scotty Boy that lesson. Now, allow me to read the next match. Next match, Rob McGovern with General Manager Don Callis in his corner defeated AEW's Brody King. Match details: a brutal back and forth contest with King dominating the power game. Towards the end, King went for the Gonzo bomb, but Callis jumped on the apron to distract the referee as Brody questioned the ref. McGovern hit a low blow followed by an F5 to secure the pinfall. Without Rob McGovern defeats Brody King via pinfall. This was a really good match. I mean, Rob McGovern, he is smart. He is clever. He's a former NWS World Heavyweight Champion. I like his dirty tactics. That's what you need to do. He is an honorary and proud member of the Don Callis family and the Elite Blood Warriors. I have a whole lot of respect for Rob McGovern. This guy has been busting his butt to get where he's at today. Rob McGovern is the man. You mess with Rob McGovern, then you pay the ultimate Rob McGovern price. And then, this is my favorite part. Scott Kisegale was trying, in Scott Kisegale's office, Scott Kisegale is trying to get off of my Mischief Mikey's lap. But I keep pulling him back on. Mischief Mikey Miller. Scotty boy. You didn't say the magic word. Scott Kisegale, please. Mr. Mikey Miller, I love your manners, but you are staying on my lap until my parking lot bar match with my brother Jaden Miller. Then you will sit on Ira's lap until your main event match with him. Someone asked me, Ira, with a mischievous smirking grin on his face, get ready, Scotty. My lap is waiting for you. Ira pat Scott on the head like a dog. Ah. That is so sweet of him. Isn't Ira a nice guy? Nice guy? Give me a break, Mikey. Give me a break. Ira a nice guy. Come on. Take it away, Joe. Yeah, someone asked me, Ira, a nice guy. The guy that called Scott a horrible person for no apparent reason. The guy that talks trash to his followers. I wonder what happened to his Instagram. He must have either privatized it or deactivated it because because I can't find him on Instagram. I mean, he hasn't blocked anyone, but he must have deactivated it. Oh well, we don't. Oh well, at least Jaden Miller is gonna kick his ass this coming Sunday at RevolutionMania 10. Now, match number 3, Psycho Mercer with Assistant General Manager Paul Heyman defeated AEW's Bishop Korn. Match details: Mercer brought a frantic style, backed by his backed by his backed by the strategic instructions of Paul Heyman at ringside. Khan had the upper hand, but Heyman shouted instructions to Mercer, allowing him to grab a chair. As the referee checked on Khan, Heyman provided a distraction, leading to Mercer using the chair and landing a devastating psycho bomb and psycho buster and slam for the victory. Without Psycho Mercer defeats Bishop Khan via pinfall. Cody Mercer did indeed use dirty tactics. I mean, Psycho Mercer did indeed use dirty tactics in this match, but he won. All because due to interference from Paul Heyman. But anyway, it was it was a good match. What do you say, Dan Lambert? It was indeed a good match, but I wish Psycho Mercer would have won without using a steel chair. But anyway, it was a good match. And then match number 4, Vinny Joe with NWS Director of Operations Jaden Miller defeated Mason Madden. The climax: Mason Madden had Joe set up for a crushing powerbomb as he and Madden wrestled back and forth with move after move and submission after submission. Vinny then slipped behind Madden. The finish: good back and forth match. I mean, lots of great submissions and wrestling maneuvers from both men. Lots of slaps and punches and body slams and super kicks. Everything was in this match. And then the finish: Vinny Joe executed a devastating The Shining, a vertical suplex dropped into an inverted DT with spiking Madden into the canvas. With the referee's attention finally back in the ring, Vinny secured a tight lateral press, then a Vinny bomb for the hard fought 1-2-3. The shake. As Vinny celebrated, Jaden Miller applauded. As Vinny Joe celebrated, he shook hands with Mason Madden. Jaden Miller applauded and also shook hands with Mason Madden. Then, alternative dramatic finish. The counter. Madden went for his signature mace closing, but Vinny Joe ducked, sending Madden crashing into the referee. Jaden Miller checked and the referee made sure he was okay. And then another referee came down. And then Vinny Joe hit another Vinny bomb and pinned him 1-2-3. After the match, as I said, both Vinny Joe and Mason Madden shook hands, and Jaden Miller also shook hands with Mason Madden. This was a good match. This is how you put on a good wrestling match, and this is how you show respect. And Vinny Joe is all about respect. Now, take it away. What do you say, Joe? Oh, he's definitely about respect. Shaking hands, that's what you do. What do you say, Mikey? Yeah, Vinny Joe is such a suck up. I mean, come on, shaking hands. Of course, it's my brother. It's my brother, Jaden Miller. Jaden Miller, the goody two shoes. Yeah, shake his hand. Shake his hand. Well, I don't always shake. Well, speaking of shaking hands, that's what Scott Kisageo is going to be doing when I beat him for the NWS World Heavyweight title. He's going to shake my hand and he's going to give me a hug like a good boy. But yeah, anyway, good match. And then it was match number 5. One of the co-main events, NWS Undisputed Championship, NWS COO Cody Mercer with Assistant General Manager Paul Heyman in his corner defeated Darby Allin and Jon Moxley in the triple threat match. Darby Allin is the current AEW World Champion. The energy is electric. As the bell rings, Jon Moxley and Darby Allin immediately look at each other and then at Cody Mercer. They briefly form an uneasy alliance to take up the COO, but the brilliance of Paul Heyman at ringside quickly comes into play. The match highlights the divide and conquer. Every time Moxley gets Cody in a corner, Heyman slides to the other side of the ring to distract Darby. This forces the two challengers to turn on each other, turning this match into a bloody slugfest between Moxley and Darby while Cody Mercer rests on the outside. The high risk fall. Darby Allin climbs to the top of a lightning rig for a coffin drop, but as he leaves, Heyman pulls Cody out of the way. Darby crashes through the announce table, taking himself out of the equation for several minutes. The brutal finish inside the ring. Moxie has Cody Mercer locked in the Bulldog choke. Seeing his client in danger, Paul Heyman jumps on the apron, screaming at the referee about an illegal weapon. Darby supposedly brought in. In the confusion, Cody hits a low blow on Moxley, followed by a devastating Mercer stunner, attitude adjustment, then a Superman punch and spear. In the end, Darby crawls back into the ring to break the count, but Cody catches him in midair and slams him onto Moxley's prone body. Cody Mercer then delivers the Mercer stunner, attitude adjustment, Mercer bomb, Superman punch and spear on Darby Allin, and then Cody the Mercer covers both men, and as the referee counts the pinfall, winner and still NWS undisputed champion Cody Mercer. Post match, Paul Heyman hands Cody the title, and they stand over the broken bodies of AEW icons, providing a management era of NWS is untouchable. As the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes is watching from the back. Interesting. See, Cody. This is why I respect Cody Mercer as a wrestler and as a person and as the MWS CEO. He knows when he sees a dirty tactic, he uses it. He takes advantage of it, and that's what you got to do because Cody Mercer is smart, and that is a very smart thing to do. Cody Mercer uses his head, and he used his head just like I use my head. Cody Mercer will go down as one of the greatest MWS undisputed champions of all time. I mean, you got to respect what Cody Mercer has done here in the MWS Revolution. He's been in the MWS Revolution since 2014 and using dirty tactics and tricks to defeat Jon Moxley and Darby Allin. You got to give the guy respect, even though he's a heel, and I'm a heel. Sometimes you got to give heels respect. Come on, Joe Galli. You at least got to agree with me on that. Well, yeah, I do. I mean, Cody Mercer is smart and clever. He knows what he's doing. But the question is, will he still be the NWS Undisputed Champion this coming Sunday at RevolutionMania 10 in his final match with the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes? Now it's time. Now it's a co-main event. Parking lot war. Jaden Miller versus Mischief Mikey Miller. Brother versus brother. The scene shifts to the arena parking lot as both Mischief Mikey Miller and Jaden Miller make their entrance. The scene shifts to the parking lot, illuminated only by car headlights and street lamps. The match is brutal from the start, with Jaden and Mikey slamming each other into hoods and windshields. So they go back and forth. Jaden Miller spears Mikey Miller down, beating the holy hell out of him with slaps and punches. Mikey low blows his brother, slaps him, punches him, spanks him, shoves his face into a puddle, slams him on the car hood, slams his head on a car door. And then Scott Kisegeo is cheering him on. And then, as Jaden and Mikey are beating the hell out of each other, Instagrammers suddenly someone asked me Iowa appears, but he isn't interested in fighting yet. He drags a folding chair to the center of the asphalt, sits down, and grabs NWS owner Scott Kisegeo by the collar in a show of pure psychological dominance. Iowa forces Scott to sit on his lap like a child. Someone asked me, Iowa, stay stay put like a good boy, Scotty, or you're getting a major spanking. As Iowa is making Scott watch the brutal parking lot brawl, as Jaden and Mikey tear each other apart, hitting each other with tires and slamming doors on limbs. Scott is forced to watch the destruction of his director of operations and his adopted son from the safety of Iowa's lap. Iowa whispers insults into Scott's ear the entire time, making the owner watch every painful second of the bar until Jaden and Mikey are left in a heap of twisted metal and glass. There was no contest in this match, but this was a great parking lot bar. I mean, and this is but I enjoyed this. But I feel sorry for Scott Kisegel. The way Iowa was cheating. First, Mischief Mikey Miller makes Scott Kisegel sit on his lap, and then someone asked me, Iowa makes Scott Kisegel sit on his lap. Oh boy. I hope Scott Kisegel recovers from the lap sitting. I mean, he's 46 years old and he's letting his adopted son Mikey make him sit in his lap. And Mikey's friend Iowa, really? This is just crazy and insane. But anyway, the parking lot bar was definitely insane. What do you say, Dan Lambert? Oh, it was definitely insane. It was crazy. And both Mischief Mikey Miller and Jaden Miller are okay. There was no winner, but it was a great parking lot bar match. And this is what parking lot bars are all about. This what you think, Mikey? In my eyes, if I would have gotten up, I would have been the winner. And I want to thank Iowa for making Scott Kisegeo sit on his lap like a good boy if because Iowa prevented Scott Kisegeo from interfering in my parking lot bar with my brother Jaden Miller. Because I know if that didn't happen, Scott Kisegeo would have definitely helped my brother Jaden Miller win. But someone asked me, Iowa was there to make sure that did not happen. That did not happen. Now the main event, Mr. Dan Lambert. Thank you, Mikey. But thank you, Mikey. But Iowa did not need to make Scott Kisegeo sit on his lap. I mean, come on. He's a big boy. Come on. This is insane. And then NWS CEO Cody Mercer was in his office watching the match. Cody Mercer, man, that was brutal. I hope Mikey is okay. General Manager Don Connors, Mikey will definitely be okay. He is smart and clever. He recovers very quickly. Well, if you excuse me, I have to get ready to manage Iowa in his match against Scooter St. Rhoda. Assistant General Manager Paul Heyman. I'm going to be on commentary for the main event. NWS CEO Cody Mercer. Take care, guys. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes enters Cody Mercer's office. Cody Rhodes, relax, Mercer. I am not here to fight you or attack you. I am here to let you know that after this Sunday, no matter who wins the match and the NWS Undisputed Championship, it will close the chapter on our feud. It will close the book and seal it for good. This Sunday, we will finally fight to the finish and move on from this. We will put an end to this overlong rivalry. And after this, no more attacking each other. No more calling each other out, and no more matches. It ends Sunday. Cody Mercer, you're right, Cody Rhodes. I signed the contract agreement. This Sunday, it will come to an end. We move on. You do what you do best, and I will do what I do best. The book and chapter will finally be closed for good. Cody Rhodes and Cody Mercer have a very long stare down. And then me and Joe Galli say that was an intense stare down as we plugged the NWS RevolutionMania 10 pay-per-view card. Then it's the main event. Someone asked me Iowa with General Manager Don Callis versus Scott Casey-Gale with NWS Director of Operations Jada Miller. Special guest referee Mischief Mikey Miller. The bell rings and Scott, visibly shaken from the parking lot humiliation, tries to take the fight to Iowa. He beats him. He slaps him. He punches him. He's body slams him. He's beating the holy hell out of Iowa. Slams his head on all four turnbuckles. Chops him in the chest. By the way, Iowa was wearing a tracksuit in this match with a Breaking Bad T-shirt of Walter White underneath. As Scott Casey-Gale was wearing his Nike tracksuit. They were trading punches back and forth. But when Scott was taking the fight to Iowa, he was winning. However, Don Callis keeps hopping on the apron to distract the referee. Assistant General Manager Paul Heyman is on commentary for this match. He is praising Iowa. He is calling action as Joe Galli and Dan Lambert and me and Joe Galli show concern for Scott Casey-Gale. The turning point, and then all of a sudden, Iowa low blow Scott. He slams him. He chops him in the chest. He beats the holy hell out of him. He delivers an elbow strike to Scott Casey-Gale and an atomic leg chop and a face breaker and a DDT. But then Scott Casey-Gale fights Iowa off. The turning point comes when Jaden Miller tries to help Scott, but Mischief Mikey Miller, still battered from the bar, steps in his way. As the chaos peaks, Iowa hits his finisher on Scott Casey-Gale. He calls it the Breaking Bad Slam. So Iowa drops Scott Casey-Gale with a Breaking Bad Slam. Mikey doesn't even wait for Scott's shoulders to be fully flat. He drops to the mat and delivers a lightning fast free count. 1, 2, 3. Winner of the match. Someone asked me Iowa via pinfall with the Breaking Bad Slam. And this match lasted 10 minutes. And then General Manager Don Callis super kick as Iowa and Mikey are beating down Scott Casey-Gale. They hold him as General Manager Don Callis super kicks Scott Casey-Gale. Paul Heyman gets up from commentary and hits Scott Casey-Gale with a steel chair. And then Jaden Miller tries to get involved, but Iowa drops him with the Breaking Bad Slam. And Scott Casey-Gale is getting beaten down by Mischief Mikey Miller, who drops him with a rock bottom, and then Mischief Mikey Miller delivers the boardroom drop to Scott Casey-Gale. And the show ends with someone asking me Iowa, Don Callis, Paul Heyman, and Mischief Mikey Miller standing over a defeated Scott, signaling a total hostile takeover of NWS Revolution. Joe Galli on commentary. Is this a preview of what the Mischief Mikey era is going to look like if he wins and becomes the new NWS World Heavyweight Champion? Dan Lambert, God save us all. Oh, if that happens, what will our future be like? Joe Galli, we are out of time. Good night, everybody. Dan Lambert saying commentary. See you on Sunday at RevolutionMania 10. The show goes off the air. I mean, I was really hoping that Scott Kisegale would beat someone Ask Me Iowa, but somehow, someway, thanks to interference from Mischief Mikey Miller, someone Ask Me Iowa now has a pinfall victory over Scott Kisegale. Unbelievable. This was insane. And now someone asked me I was making Scott Kisegale sit on his lap, just like Mischief Mikey Miller does. I really feel bad for Scott Kisegale. This is insane. What do you say, Joe Galli? I definitely feel bad for Scott Kisegale. He did not deserve this. There was no need for Mikey and Iowa and Don Callis and Paul Heyman to totally humiliate Scott Kisegale. They double teamed him. That was a cowardly attack. And I agree with you 100%, Dan Lambert. That was a totally cowardly attack on Scott Kisegale and a totally humiliation ritual on Scott Kisegale. He did not need to be put through that. What do you say, Mikey? Oh, Joe Galli and Dan Lambert. Get used to it. This coming Sunday, I am going to defeat Scott Kisegale. I'm either going to pin him 1, 2, 3, or I'm going to make him submit. I promise you. I guarantee you, Mischief Mikey Miller will become the new NWS World Heavyweight Champion, and I will be the new co-owner of the NWS Revolution, which means the humiliation of Scott Kisegale is going to continue. It's going to be a new era. You understand me, Joe Galli and Dan Lambert? It is going to be a new era. It is going to be the era of Mischief Mikey Miller. And there's going to be a whole lot of changes here in the MWS Revolution. Major changes. And it's going to start this Sunday. And when I win the title and when I'm the co-owner and still the MWS Board of Directors Chairman, I'm going to announce what the new major changes are going to be here in the NWS Revolution. Trust me, in the words of Triple H, this is best for business. We need some changes here in the MWS Revolution, and we need some changes just right here and right now. And only I, Mr. Mikey Mueller, can make major changes here in the NWS Revolution. A lot of people aren't going to like it, but they're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it because the new changes will be official here in the NWS Revolution. Don't worry, Joe Galli and Dan Abbott. You're still going to be the commentators here. You're still going to be the commentators. My brother Jaden Miller is still going to remain the NWS Director of Operations. I'm still going to be the Board of Directors Chairman, but I'm going to be the co-owner, which means I'm going to have a lot more power than I did before here in the MWS Revolution. Don Callis and Paul Heyman are staying on as general managers. Cody Mercer is staying on as COO. Michael Rapport is staying on as commissioner, but there's definitely going to be a whole lot of major changes. As a matter of fact, I am seriously thinking about making a TV deal with the NWS Revolution. I'm all about ratings here in the NWS Revolution, and I'm going to bring new ratings. I'm going to make this wrestling e-fed a lot bigger than it ever has before, and I'm going to promote the hell out of it. So yes, the changes in the MWS Revolution are coming, and they're going to stop this Sunday when I take the World Heavyweight title off of Scott Kisegale and become the co-owner. And this is Mr. Mikey Miller signing off. And this coming Sunday, I, Mr. Mikey Miller, will do the RevolutionMania 10 reveal with NWS Head of Talent Relations, Michael Cole. And also, someone asked me Iowa is now an official member of the NWS Board of Directors. And he definitely will have power over Scott Kisegale. And he might even and someone asked me Iowa is going to get promoted and he's going to have a rank here in the NWS Revolution. So he's going to have the power to book matches and he's going to become the new NWS Hardcore Champion. But anyway, This is Scott Gale. This coming Sunday, I will finally defeat you 1-2-3, and I will become the new NWS World Heavyweight Champion. I guarantee you. Bank on it. See you Sunday. This is Scott Gale. This is Mr. Mikey Miller, your NWS Board of Directors Chairman, signing off. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody. Michael Cohen, Mr. Mikey Miller are going to give you the NWS Revolution Impact Review. And me and Dan Lambert will be on commentary for RevolutionMania 10. Good night, everybody. Great Revolution Impact. 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, way up, a solid 10 out of 10. I agree, Joe Galli, 10 out of 10, 5 stars, 2 thumbs up. And this Sunday, I can't wait to call RevolutionMania 10 with Joe Galli and NWS Head of Talent Relations, Michael Cole. It's going to be one hell of a show. The 10th anniversary, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so it's good. It's going to be fun. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is your NWS color commentator, Dan Lambert, signing off. Good night, everybody, and have a good day.